Nothing happened.
I heard.
Not a thing.
Nothing. It was quite boring, actually. Very uneventful. Wouldn't you say, Renetta?
I always love Renetta's response of no response, just the smile. It says it all.
Join the right meeting, Toy.
My son's in the next room like, who's yelling? What's going on?
You're exciting, but not that exciting. I don't bring all of that excitement into the room. And look, Julie Kim has to join our first meeting and to get this kind of excitement.
This is definitely experience.
This is the last time we're going to do that one.
Someone was blocking the driveway. The dispute was with the driveway, right? Dispute.
Mr. Chowdhury, I hear you. There are people blocking my driveway at all times of the day and night.
No, but
there was a giant school bus with protesters blocking my driveway. But I didn't say anything. They were exhibiting their First Amendment right to protest. I see Heiko. I'm going to mark you present, Heiko.
Cool. Thanks, man. Good to see everyone.
I'm probably going to have to do like...
Heiko is in the charging mode.
I might have to do like, oh, Ms. Nimmons, Dr. Nimmons, I see you. And there's Mark and Lisa. Elba, Ed, Toy. I see you, Mr. Chowdhury. Dorothy, Marlene. I might have to do attendance again. We were barely scraping by with a quorum. Ooh, top Michigan Republican says Trump should concede election. Breaking news on CNN. Not that I'm saying it. It's on the banner. You're on mute, Renetta. I can't hear you. If you're saying, Kevin, you have to be nonpartisan.
He's just reading the news.
Exactly. So we won't.
I'm just reporting the news. I'm just reporting the
He's
news.
not saying his opinion.
No. So thank you everybody for joining the meeting again. The meeting started out where I can't give control the meeting to Kevin. And and as you can see, we were GoToMeeting bombed, and this was the second time this has happened to us, and it happened to us at a Business Echo meeting. And we think we know who it may be, and we're not going to accept that anymore. So our meeting telephone number will not be published, and we're going to possibly move from GoToMeeting to Zoom, where it's going to give us a lot more control. I'm waiting for Miss Reed and for Keisha to come back in the room, and for Clara, because they're contacting all of the speakers. That I know we're not going to have members of the public on today, but we will be publishing the meeting on YouTube, and it will be accessible to the public. So today was a little bit more interesting than it needed to be, and it's unacceptable what we went through at Business Echo, and it was unacceptable what we went through earlier this evening, and it was the same tape with that nasty, racist, misogynistic craziness.
Homophobic.
Oh yes, it did everything. It covered all bases tonight. And we Queens Community Board number 3 does not do that. So it's unacceptable. So the technology team, we're gonna have a meeting ASAP, because this can't happen again.
Are you able to make me organizer again, Renetta?
No, it's really funky. I don't know what's going on.
It's weird.
So it's going to
You should be able to just click on my name. Actually, you could probably just click on my photo on the little 3 dots.
Oh gosh, let me send this to Keisha here. Okay. I need to send this to Keisha and to I tried, Kevin, and it's
Yeah.
for some reason it's really acting up. Okay, let
Oh.
me send this to Keisha.
May I suggest that we turn off the recording until we're ready to actually begin?
Okay.
I am.
So I think I'm gonna let you open up with your presentation since most of the members are on. I don't know if you want to show us yourself. And
I'm going to show myself. I just don't have a deck or anything like that.
okay, no problem.
Here we go.
So welcome. Jessica has been a wonderful asset to Queens Community Board number 3. Anytime we needed what we need, any information that we need, masks. It's been a wonderful relationship. So go ahead.
Thanks. So I'm going to just touch base on a few things, but I think my information is going to kind of overlap a little bit with Julie's. So just largely the city's concerned about the rising COVID-19 case numbers, but we do still believe we can fight back a second wave. So some area-specific numbers we have for Corona, North Corona, the positivity is 5.81%. For the LaGuardia Airport, East Elmhurst area, it's 4.44%. For Jackson Heights, it's 2.82%. So there is a range there, but still it does indicate those numbers are going higher. And so yesterday we announced the closure of school buildings, which is a temporary closure as we're just trying to get a handle on these rising case numbers. The schools that when we did open the schools earlier on, we had the gold standard of health and safety measures, including blended learning, socially distanced classrooms, mandatory mask wearing, widely available testing, and a contact tracing program. So all of this overlap to, coupled with the 3% threshold at which we would close schools to result in a positivity rate that has been below 0.5%. So our schools have been very safe, but as we've now crossed this threshold, there has been an increased concern in the spread of the coronavirus. So in discussing the reopening of schools, we'll be focusing increasingly on testing, and the message we're getting out to families is that we need testing consent forms to be brought back to schools and to be submitted. We're focusing on getting kids back to school, working with staff to organize windows for the food pickup with the grab and go meals. We're working with families so that all students have remote learning devices. We are continuing to have learning bridges open, and really just trying to facilitate this transition very temporarily to a distance learning model. Now, the current closure is expected to last a minimum of 2 weeks, but we will be working with the state to figure out what the reopening will look like. And with the upcoming holidays, we are concerned that we're going to cross a threshold where the state will be declaring New York City as an orange zone. So we're encouraging folks to keep wearing their masks, washing their hands, socially distancing, and getting tests. We've had a great testing site at Traverse Park the last couple of weeks in Jackson Heights. And of course, recognizing that we're in the holiday season, we're encouraging everyone not to gather, not to travel, and to really just keep it very immediate, very small if they're having celebrations for Thanksgiving. To just kind of highlight a couple of initiatives that we've had more generally in the city recently. One is the Open Storefronts program, which began on October 30th and will be running until December 31st. This is a program that's modeled similarly to the Open Restaurants program, and it's permitting storefront businesses to use a portion of their sidewalk to display merchandise, sell goods, complete transactions, and provide lineup areas. We're encouraging all New Yorkers to shop locally this holiday season to support our small businesses. And secondly, a more traditional initiative we have is our Dusk and Darkness campaign. It's our 5th one, where we just remind motorists how dangerous fall and winter evenings are for pedestrians and cyclists, especially after clocks fall back for the end of daylight savings time. There's also a similar education effort taking place around state laws, which require all motor vehicle passengers to wear seatbelts. And so lastly, I just want to again emphasize the importance of continuing to practice all of our health and safety standards and to please get a COVID-19 test and have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Hi, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Sorry. Yeah, about the testing in the schools, I understand that from the different schools that I spoke to, that some students' parents didn't sign the consent form, so they didn't have to take it. And so what happens if they don't sign it?
I understand that there are different measures that some families feel more comfortable going to their local doctor, going to a doctor of their choice to get their child tested. But really, we then just ask families to monitor symptoms if a child is sick, to stay home, and to report if they have that positive COVID test. But this is obviously a concern. It's a gap in the standard that we've created, and emphasizing again that when we reopen schools, testing will be a focus. So this is why we really are now putting out that message and doubling down on the fact that we really need those consent forms sent back to schools.
So it's voluntary. So if they don't do it, the student can still come to school.
Well, you can't, we're not saying that you can be in school if you're sick. We're saying that if you're sick, you're supposed to stay home, and kids are wearing masks, and it's a small classroom, and kids are socially distant. But we are saying that we really need kids to submit those testing forms because we can't force students to be tested.
Okay, because I thought that originally they were going to say if they don't bring them in, more than twice, if they're asked twice, then they have to go to all remote, the student themselves. But if that's not the case, I just don't know how else we're going to stop this. If people aren't, if we don't have to force these students to take the test or bring in the permission slip, I don't think they should be, okay, I just hope that more people comply. That's all. Okay, thank you.
So I have a question also.
Go ahead. Have Julie.
Is that testing? Sorry.
We also have Julie Kim that's going to speak next, and she's from Test and Trace. So along with
Oh, okay. Well, this is good. Is there a place where we can go online or call to find out where the testing sites are that are readily available besides the city clinics that are there?
So though that website is nyc.gov/COVID test.
Okay.
You can also call 311 and supply your zip code, and they'd be happy to help as well.
Now, also, is that site on Broadway and Northern Boulevard still open? Is that open and available for people to be tested?
Julie, do you think the rapid testing site is open? I believe they just opened it.
Sorry, which one?
The Northern Boulevard rapid testing site.
Yes, the Sports Authority parking lot. Yes, it's open. It's been open, but it now has rapid testing as well.
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to have one more speaker that's coming in now, and then we're going to have you go, Julia. Julie, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, so we're waiting for that speaker to come on in. And in a minute.
Renetta?
Yes, sir.
I believe Ladisla is trying to get into the meeting.
Okay, let me text her right now.
Well, I sent her the link. She says she's sitting in the queue waiting.
She's not on the right link then. I hope it's not doing that because we're expecting someone to join the meeting.
I'm going to tell her to exit and log and try again.
Because Arthur just joined, so he didn't have any problem. Okay, Julie, you can go ahead, and then when we expect, we may break your speaking for this other speaker, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I can keep this short. Is it possible to share my screen?
Yeah, let me see. Hold on for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Natalia,
Yes, that's me.
are you one of the
I'm
applicants?
here for the street co-naming.
Okay, you can just wait for a second. All right, I'm gonna share your screen. Here you go. I'm gonna share your screen. Or you could share. Let me give you the ability to share your screen, Julie. There you go. Did it pop up? Okay, very good.
This specific GoToMeeting, so I'm just gonna try to do this more quickly. Okay. Can you all see the screen, or is it too small?
Yeah, just maximize it into your regular screen size. Yeah. Very good.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so I'll be quick since Jessica was able to say a lot of things I was going to say anyway. So I just want to make clear that there are 3 components to the test and trace team. So there is the testing portion, which, you know, we're encouraging everyone to get tested, especially those who are out and about, to get tested more frequently, even if you don't have symptoms. And I think that's the important thing that we're trying to let everyone know, that you don't need to have any symptoms to go get tested. You know, we have heard of cases of people being asymptomatic and having tested positive for COVID. So we're just encouraging everyone, especially before the holidays, to go and get tested at your nearest testing site. And then tracing. So the tracing portion of this is, if anyone does test positive, they will get a test from our tracer. And they should expect that they will get that phone call. And if they don't pick up, you might find a tracer at your doorstep. So we just want to make sure that everyone knows that our tracing team is out and about and making sure to contact everyone who has gotten a positive test. And the reason, and what the tracers will do is, once someone does have a positive test, is make sure that they're connected with all the resources available. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. But yes, you can find your nearest testing site at nyc.gov/COVID test at no cost to yourself. And I will send out a full list of the testing sites every week, but the closest one to here, you can just go on the website and look to see what's the closest one. I would say probably the Sports Authority, which just opened, the rapid testing site just opened, or the Elmhurst Hospital would be a good bet. And then the take care portion is, you will, you know, for folks who aren't able to quarantine or self-isolate, the take care program will offer hotels, food delivery, medication delivery, even pet walking, pet services for those who will need to quarantine. And you can visit testandtrace.nyc.gov, testandtrace.nyc to look at those resources. We're encouraging everyone to practice the core 4, so staying home if you're sick, keeping your social distance and wearing a face mask, as well as keeping your hands clean and getting tested more frequently. There has been some new holiday guidance that has been issued that is on our Test and Trace New York Health and Hospitals website, but really to sum it up is to keep it small this year and don't gather and not to travel. So the other thing that I would like to talk about is just quickly how we can partner with Community Board 3 and some of the organizations that might be represented here today, which is promoting, you know, basic COVID-19 prevention through digital outreach, social media, promoting the nearby testing sites. If anyone does need palm cards or masks and would like to do a day of action, you can totally reach out to me and we can schedule that, as well as hosting a microsite. So we are starting to use more of the self-testing kits. So we want to be more flexible, especially with the long lines that are happening recently. So if anyone has an idea for a self-testing site, because it is getting so cold, we are planning on doing these indoors. If you have an idea for a space that is not near a current testing site that can host a self-testing day, please reach out to me. We are looking for locations. It's very flexible. All we need is a table We bring the kits, and that's the latest in the self-testing. So that's pretty much it. I wanted to keep it short since I know Jessica already has pretty much stated the other things that I was going to say. But if there's any questions, you can feel free to ask.
Does anyone have any questions for Julie?
I have a question. How long does it take for the results to come back after testing?
Rapid test, you get it really within 15 minutes. But I recently got a self-test and I got it within a day, but it's maximum 48 hours. But mostly it's been coming back within a day or two.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
What would you guys need? Hey.
Sorry?
Hello. Hi, it's Chuck Schumer.
Sorry about that. I'm sorry. I wasn't cutting nobody off. My name is Juan Montenegro. I'm Dr. Rubio's nephew, and you spoke about the self-testing day, and you need a site. I would be able to host a self-testing days, or multiple of you still need a site.
Hi, sir. Can you please type that information in the chat?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. You could keep yourself on mute. And Julie, thank you very much. We have our Senator Chuck Schumer who's on. Hello, Senator Schumer.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Hi. Hello, everybody.
Welcome to Queens Community Board number 3. Jackson Heights,
Great.
Elmhurst, and North Corona. Welcome you.
Yes, I know it may be known, I ride my bicycle all over the city on Saturdays, and I ride through your district quite a bit.
Welcome.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you.
Yes. Okay, so what I'd like to do is first speak for about 10, 12 minutes about some of the things going on and we're trying to do, or 15, and then spend about 15 minutes on questions. Is that too much time for you all? Or
No, that's perfect. Perfect.
okay, great. Okay, so first, thank you. And I want to thank, I can't see most of the pictures up here. Is Renata English here, your chair? I want to thank her.
Yes, I'm right here.
Where are you? You see, I guess it's, I'm getting no pictures on my little, I got a.
View who's talking. It's at the top there, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Well, Renata, thank you, and Giovanna, Reed, and thank you everyone for serving on community boards. I know it's not easy to serve on a board, those of you who are members of the board. When things go wrong, you hear it from everybody. When things go right, people don't say thank you that much when you're a community board member. So I just want to thank you for all the good work you do. Community Board 3 is such an important place in New York. It's the future. And the idea to provide the ladders up in terms of services and opportunities and everything else for the members of your constituency is vital. So let me say a few things here. First, as everyone knows, we're in the midst of one of the greatest crises this country has ever faced. This is the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression and the worst health crisis in 100 years since the Spanish flu. 250,000 people are dead. Every one of us knows someone who has died. Your board hasn't been hit particularly hard. 11.6 million cases of COVID. And with all this happening, President Trump and the right-wing Republicans who occupy the Senate don't want to do a damn thing. We did get them to do some things early in March in the CARES Act. I'll talk about that in a minute. But they're just sitting on their hands and we're fighting them tooth and nail. And we have to. And then we have a third crisis, which is probably on people's minds too, and that is democracy. Will Donald Trump, who has lost the election, be able to subvert our democracy? And the good news here is I think he's going to have a very, very difficult time. The system works pretty well. And now I have many more pictures. That's good. Whoever did that, I can see you much better. Some of you, anyway. But in any case, we have our Democratic senators. We have the best lawyer, a guy named Mark Elias. He's going to court left and right to prevent Trump from doing this. And guess what? He's won almost all of his cases. Even Republican judges and state and federal judges in conservative states realize Trump's claims are so outlandish that they reject them. He says there's fraud. I don't know if some people saw today, Rudy Giuliani, not my favorite character, He had a temper tantrum. And then they said to him, well, where's your evidence that there's fraud? And he didn't have any. They're just saying these things, and they're all afraid. The Republican senators are all afraid of Trump. But and they think, well, remember back in Florida, where frankly the Democrats didn't fight hard enough, and the election was done by the Supreme Court. The difference is that Florida was only one state that was contested that made the difference, and it was only 527 vote difference. We have 6 states, and the least of all those states is 11,000 votes change. Biden won by 11,000 in Arizona. So they won't be able to overturn it. And then on the 16th of December, and this other idea that they're going to be able to put in different electors than the electors the people elected, I'm from Brooklyn, it's utter bullshit. Am I allowed to say that, Madam Chair? Yes,
no, we don't normally say those kinds of words.
Even though you're from genteel Queens and I'm from Brooklyn, yes. That's okay. Okay.
You're Queens.
Yeah, I know. Queens and Brooklyn, we're brother and sister. Of course, brother and brother or sister and sister. And my parents live in Queens. So anyway, so it's bull. And you need the governors to go along to replace the electors. And guess what? Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin have Democratic governors, so they can't screw around. So Trump will rant and rave, but he's not getting anywhere. And he'll try to do some things to screw up the country in the next few months, but he can't change that. He can't change that we're going to beat him in the election. So let me go through a couple of things on COVID relief, because I know that was a question that you had. Back in March when the crisis hit, we did get some cooperation from some of the Republicans, not much, but some. But they wanted to get a bill done, so we did a lot of good things. We got unemployment insurance at $600 a month, and we expanded the number of people who were getting it to part-time workers, gig workers, freelancers, and others who never got it. And that kept 10 million people out of poverty. We got money for small business. The small businesses, you're a community of small businesses. And I had a discussion a few months ago with the Corona Elmhurst, I think it was the Small Business Association. And we got some money for them. I made sure that nonprofits were added. And for those of you who are members of churches, we even allowed the churches to be added because there's no collection plate and churches do a lot of our social service. So do the nonprofits. And so we got money for that. We got money for the MTA. We got them $4 billion so they didn't have to shut down. We got a lot of money for the hospitals. Many of our hospitals would have shut down. Elmhurst Hospital, is that in your board or is it a little south of your board? Elmhurst Hospital, no, it's a little south of your board. Yeah, they would have shut down without the help we got them. We got about $1 billion for our schools so they wouldn't have to cut school aid. And we got money for, we did a moratorium so no one could be kicked out of their house if they couldn't pay rent. We got some money to help feed people. It was a pretty good bill. Here's the problem. Everyone thought in March that COVID would be gone by the summer. So most of these programs have run out. And now we're in the fight of our lives to get them renewed and expanded. So we want to expand the unemployment insurance for 6 months. We want to expand the PPP, the money that went to the small businesses, the nonprofits, and the churches for 6 months. We want to make sure our schools get the money to open safely. You know, no parent wants to send their kid to a school that's not safe. But if your kids are home and you're working, what the heck are you going to do? So we want to provide a whole lot of money so the schools can open safely, so they can get the PPP, so they can, you can't have 2 kids riding next to each other on a bus. You need more bus routes. You can't have 32nd graders on Zoom. You can have 6 or 7, but not 30. So you need more time for teaching and all that. So we do that in this bill. We give a lot of money to the MTA, so they'll keep going. We give money to the state and local governments. In the first bill, we gave about, New York State got about 10 billion, New York City about 5 billion. But we give them a lot more so they won't have to lay off workers. So many of our people work for the city, and the city jobs are a ladder up. Without this money, there could be a whole lot of layoffs. And so we put together all of these things, and then there was special money. How many of the restaurants have closed in your area? I'll bet a whole lot. So we give money for 6 months, a grant to restaurants so they can stay open. We do the same with other small businesses like independent venues so they can stay open. They can use the money for what they need. This has all passed the House of Representatives. All the things I mentioned to you. Money, $100 billion to help people pay the rent or help people pay the mortgage if they lost the job through no fault of their own. How are they going to pay the rent? Should they be kicked out of their house and be homeless? No. So we put money in for that as well. And we also, you're an immigrant community. We expanded a lot, many immigrants. I'm a big immigrant guy, pro-immigrant. We expanded the abilities of immigrants to get this money, whether they're small business people or others, which the first bill didn't because the Republicans blocked it. All of these things passed the House. And we're fighting Mitch McConnell in the Senate. But listen to this. I live in a never, never land world. There are 20 Republican senators in the Senate of the United States who want to spend $0. Zero. They are supported by these very wealthy people, rich people, and they don't want to pay any taxes and they don't want any government regulation. So McConnell and those 20 senators have been blocking things, but we're fighting them. And maybe we can get something done there. If I get to, and that's for the next month or two. As many of you know, I'm trying to get to be the majority leader of the Senate. We need to win those 2 seats in Georgia. We're fighting very, very hard, working with somebody, Stacey Abrams, who has been a great leader in Georgia, to win. And we have a chance of winning. We have a good chance of winning. If we win, I become the majority leader. And all the things I mentioned will happen in the first few weeks that we get to be in the majority, all of them. So we're fighting very hard for that. And I will just add as a little commercial here, anyone who knows someone in Georgia, has friend, family, business, please call them and tell them to vote and vote for the 2 Democratic senators. One is a guy named Ossoff, he's from the suburbs. And one is a guy named Raphael Warnock, who is the pastor of the Ebenezer Baptist Church, which is Martin Luther King's old pulpit. It's probably the most famous pulpit in America. And guess what? He lived here in New York for 4 or 5, he's a Georgian, but he lived here for 4 or 5 years. He was the deputy pastor of the Abyssinian Baptist Church in Harlem, where Calvin Butts presides. And I know Calvin Butts, I think he comes from your Elmhurst. I've been to the Elmhurst Church where Calvin, right? What's the name of the church? I go there all the time.
First Baptist Church.
First Baptist of Elmhurst, where I think that's where he was raised. Anyway, he knows Warnock well. So if we win these 2, we can get all this done. And if any of you want to help in the campaign, you don't have to go down to Georgia. They have phone bank. You know, you can do a lot of this virtually in this new world. If you want to get on the phone and persuade people to vote and tell them that this will mean all these things, which they matter to Community Board 3, they matter to Georgia. In fact, they matter even more to Georgia because we require in there that Georgia was a very right-wing regressive state, and they didn't expand Medicaid. So during COVID, lots of people don't have health insurance down there. And we would require them to expand Medicaid. And that's one of the ways that Warnock and Ossoff are campaigning. Expand Medicaid like we did and many other states did. So that's important. And the final thing I'll say before I do questions.
Okay.
If I get to be majority leader, we can do a whole lot. We can do a lot on climate. I've worked very hard on climate change, but we'll make sure that climate helps average people of color, smaller communities. It's not just one thing. I will get an immigration bill passed. I am passionate about immigration, and we will have a path to citizenship for all of the immigrants who are here. They're so important to our community, and they work so hard. And all they want to do is work hard and become Americans. We'll have the DACA kids put in there. We will get this bill passed. We'll do a big infrastructure bill. And in that infrastructure bill, we require that it's going to be 10 million new jobs, good paying jobs. It's $1 trillion of infrastructure, highways, bridges, but also, you know, clean energy and all that, that people who are out of work get trained for the jobs or have low paying jobs. And it'll create a huge ladder up for so many people. And that is another thing that we could get done. We would fully fund the MTA. So, you know, they wouldn't have to worry about cutbacks, and reducing service, and
All right.
we would also restore our democracy.
All right. So
Get rid of, pardon, yeah.
okay, Senator Schumer, we have a couple of folks started writing questions, and I know because we have our meeting
Let me-
started a little later than expected, but we
Yeah,
thank you for
but
being.
one last thing.
Okay.
We would allow instantaneous voter registration. You show up, you can vote. That would allow many more people to vote and change America in this. We would allow DC to become a state. They are not represented. And we would get rid of that horrible Citizens United decision, which allows all these very wealthy people to send millions of dollars and you don't even know they're doing it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So Megan, you
I'm
have
sorry,
a question.
I have a lot of issues I want to get out.
You covered them all in a short amount of time, and we thank you for what you're doing in Washington. Megan?
Thank you. Hi, Megan.
Hello. Good evening, Senator. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to ask about what could be done with respect to the push to cancel student debt both before January 20th and after January 20th, including with respect to the extension, potential push to convince Trump to push out the current relief past expiration at year end.
Okay, Megan, we will go a lot further than that. Elizabeth Warren, I don't know if you've read about this, have a proposal that on day one that Joe Biden becomes president, he can sign what's called an executive order. You don't even need the Congress. The heck with the Republicans who won't do this. And $50,000 of debt for every student would be gone. 73% of all students would have no more debt, and 97% would have greatly reduced debt. Do you know the outrage of this, folks? The folks who are paying their debt, they're paying 7%. And guess who they're paying it to in large part? The federal government. The federal government's making a profit on the backs of the students. So this has gotten a lot of play, and thank you for asking. My proposal, along with Elizabeth Warren, is $50,000 of student debt goes away immediately, gone. What Trump did is he just said you didn't have to pay during the moratorium. But we would go much further, and we don't need to win the Congress, win the Senate for this. Biden can do it on his own. We have petitions. I will get to your board, our website, and if you want to sign the petition and circulate it, I think we have 2 million signatures already.
Could I just ask a quick follow-up?
Yes.
Are you also looking to lower the interest rates on the balances that remain outstanding? And are you also looking to look into revisions so that we're not taxed on forgiveness of indebtedness income?
Yeah, part of our bill is when we get rid of the debt, it's not a gift and you don't pay any tax on it. The 50,000 goes away and you don't have any liability. So but second, for the remaining debt, let's say you have $75,000 of debt, so you'd still have 25. We would greatly lower the interest rate. Right now, people are paying 7. If you go out for a mortgage, you pay 4. If you buy a car, you pay 3 or 4. How come we're asking the students and the people who went to school to pay 7? So that's part of our proposal.
All right. Thank you. Kevin, you have a question?
Hi, Senator Schumer. Kevin Hughes-Naboa, I'm the board secretary. It's an amazing pleasure to meet you virtually. I'm a big fan. You and Speaker Pelosi, you're like my favorite couple to watch on TV. So keep on fighting the good fight. Renetta said I had to have a question. So here's my question. We're gonna flip the Senate, right? We're gonna
God willing,
God willing,
blue,
right?
Well, I'm working on it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Senator Schumer.
If we flip the Senate, we could do so many good things that they have blocked.
All right. So I see one hand raised, Frank, and we'll have one more question after Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, how you doing, Senator Schumer?
I'm
It is
doing all
a pleasure to have you at the board. I remember your first election in Brooklyn. It was a great event, a great day on Eastern Parkway.
Yes. Right.
And, you know, we're basically a hard-working board. People come from many different walks of life, but basically we work very hard for what we have. There's an issue here of the air train. We have mass unemployment. We have mass sickness here. We also have a food crisis where you could see 2 times a week where people are actually lined up for 3 to 6 blocks for food pantries. What is your take on an air train that's going to take $2.05 billion to build and not benefit this community at all?
Okay, well, let me say, I don't know the issue of the air train. I was told right beforehand I'd get asked. I'll study it, but I don't know the issue. My job is to get the MTA money so the fare doesn't go up and they don't fire people. We got them $4 billion in the last bill. This bill is for $12 billion. So
Well, it's
that's
actually the Port Authority, sir. It's actually the Port Authority, which is still run by Governor Cuomo.
but that's different. I get money for the MTA. We're trying to get state aid to the governor and city aid to the mayor, but that's separate, and they could give that, I guess. But I'm not familiar with that issue. I know there's many sides to it.
Okay, yes, there is. And I'm sorry, the second question
Frank,
the environment.
On the food banks, in this bill that we passed the House that I want, we would raise SNAP permanently. We would also give the food banks much more food. They're running out of food. I see it all. When I ride my bicycle over the city, I do it. And, I know small business. My dad was a small businessman. He had a little exterminating business, and he struggled his whole life. He would pace the floor Sunday nights at 2 a.m. because he hated going to work. But now, God, praise God, he's 97, and he's a funny guy. He said, I was an exterminator. How bad could DDT have been? I'm 97.
All right. Is there anyone else? One or two more people? Okay. There you go, Mark. And then we're going to end with Arthur Tyler. Go ahead, Mark.
Great.
Thanks, Renetta. Hi, Senator. Really nice to talk with you. I guess I wanted to piggyback off of a couple of things you mentioned, and that Frank also asked about the food banks. I help operate a food pantry on Roosevelt Avenue every week, and so many people of the families that see us are undocumented immigrants that have been cut out of all of the COVID relief. I'm just asking if you would be able to push hard. I know it's going to be politically difficult, but push hard to make sure that our undocumented neighbors are included in the next COVID relief bill.
Yes, in the House bill that passed, they are included for food, for rent, and for the small, the PPP, the small business program, lets the employer pay the employees so they don't leave and because the employer doesn't have money. And they don't ask your documentation. My dream, Mark, is to pass comprehensive immigration reform where all of our immigrants, documented and not, can have a path to citizenship. And do you know what that would do for our economy? Speaking of the economy, which Frank talked about, wow, it would set it loose because people wouldn't be looking over their shoulders. They could get what job they wanted. They'd work hard. Immigrants work so hard. And, it just so pisses me off that Donald Trump makes immigrants a foil and tries to get people in middle America. The people who dislike immigrants the most are from places where there are very few immigrants because they don't really see them and know how hard they work.
All right. Arthur Tyler. And Arthur?
There's Arthur.
Arthur, unmute yourself. Okay.
Figure out how to, am I unmuted?
Yeah, you're unmuted now.
All right, good. Senator, we are bicycle fans here, and we've spotted you on 34th Avenue.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
On Northern Boulevard.
Arthur, one of my favorite bike routes is to take 34th Avenue all the way down, and thank you for making it bike lane.
Yes. Yeah, now that was our assemblyman, Lafayette, who did that, and it was very nice. Anyway, you're talking about Raphael Warlock, and I'm sure you've heard his blood libels. Is there any way to control people like that? It's terrible. He scares the daylights out of me. I haven't heard any other senator talk like that.
Yeah, well, Raphael Warnock, no, he's a fine man. They're putting these commercials about him, which distort his record completely. He's a very honorable man. He's a person of God. He's a preacher. And Stacey Abrams says that he would be one of the best senators that she would ever have seen. So don't worry, he's not. Don't believe the commercials of the right-wing Republicans. They're trying to make him into a demon. And frankly, part of their demonization is racial.
Are you saying that the blood libels that he made were not really said by him?
I believe, I don't know what you're referring to, but I'm pretty sure.
When he was saying that the Jews in Israel, are shooting down unarmed Palestinians and things like that. That he,
I don't know the details you're referring to, but he is. I'll send you an
look
op-ed.
it up. And,
I know, but I'll send you, Arthur. I'll send you an op-ed he wrote. He's very pro. He's pro-Israel.
All right,
He wrote an op-ed.
thank you, Arthur.
I have a quick question.
Okay,
Can
wait.
you give
The
us
last two questions will be Nuala and then you, Dr. Nimmons. Go ahead, Nuala. Nuala, go ahead, Nuala. You have to turn your video.
So, Senator Schumer, I'm kind of horrified that you don't know so much about the LaGuardia Air Train. It's a $2 billion boondoggle that will really affect this neighborhood. It looks to take away our parkland. It looks to take away our view and access to the waterfront and overcrowd our transportation here, specifically our 7 train. And it's really kind of horrifying that the Port Authority, not the MTA, the Port Authority has kind of pushed through this plan. It's kind of an old plan to bring what we call a backwards air train, a train that takes passengers from LaGuardia east towards Long Island to Willard's Point to go back to Manhattan. And I'd really urge you to look into it because here's the neighborhood are really going to be hurt by it.
All right.
I don't have much jurisdiction over the Port Authority, and so I focus on federal things, but I'll take a look.
All right, thank you, Nuala.
Well, there's a funding issue.
All right.
For federal funds.
Okay. Dr. Nimmons is the last question.
Quick question. Just wanted to ask about the way to help the Senate race in Georgia. You mentioned that we can call and get on phone banks and
we're not gonna. He's gonna send information. We're not gonna. Yeah.
I'll send it to the
Okay, you're
board.
gonna say, okay, very good.
Gonna send
Some great people, and I will get you both phone number, email, and a website, and to how you can help.
Right.
Yes, because we want you to be the majority leader. We want you to be the leader, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Dr. Nimmons,
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you so much, Senator.
Second that.
And here, I know there were a lot of other questions. I know you have a lot of business. I promise I'll come back after the election and we can talk more about things. Is that okay?
That's very fun, and thank you. And we look forward to seeing you around our neighborhood.
Thank you, everybody, and have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. May God give you a good one.
All right.
Thank you.
Your family. Bye-bye.
Bless you and your family.
All right. So the next speaker will be the New York State DOT, and who will be speaking for them?
I think it's Thomas Bayer.
Thomas Bayer. Are you?
Hello, this is Thomas Bayer. Can you hear me?
Yes. And do you want me to give you the screen so you can show your presentation?
I emailed the slides to Keisha.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone now. I'm on the train. Oh.
Okay, so you can just start talking about it, and I'm gonna look for your presents because we have it in our folder. But go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Can I go ahead?
Go ahead.
All right. So just to give you a quick overview, we started the New York State DOT project to replace the Astoria Boulevard South Bridge over the ramp from the eastbound BQE that connects to the eastbound Grand Central Parkway. The project has begun, and just this week they started the first phase of major construction, and they set up a long-term lane closure on the eastbound on Astoria Boulevard South. This location is just east of St. Michael Cemetery and just west of Booty Street. The work zone they set up is on the right side. So what is set up is a long-term right lane closure. So the lanes are reduced for the period of construction in order to replace the bridge deck. The scope of this project is to replace this approximately 60-year-old bridge deck that is in need of replacement. It's served its life, and it's no longer. Okay, great. This is my screen here. All right. Yeah, stage one. Okay, perfect. So stage one construction is in place now, just as of this week. The lanes are reduced from 3 to 2, just in the location of the bridge. The scope of the entire project is just to replace the bridge deck and replace the railings and the walls on the sides of the bridge and repave the roadway leading up to the bridge on both sides, leading in and leading out. And to accomplish this, what the construction team is going to do, they're going to, on the right side, or the south side of the bridge, the right side as you're traveling east, they're going to construct a temporary pedestrian bridge to keep the pedestrians safe and out of the way of the reconstruction of the deck. So in this stage that they just set up, one of the first things they're going to do is build a temporary pedestrian walkway on a bridge over the ramp from the BQE. So that's the first thing they're going to do. And then followed by replacing the bridge deck and all the utilities that are carried by the bridge in this stage one. And that'll take about roughly 10 months or so. It's a long stage because of the utility replacements and the construction and opening of the pedestrian bypass. And stage one is followed by stage two, and stage two, the left half or the north half of this eastbound bridge will be replaced. And following stage two, we'll have a short stage, likely have a short stage 3 and 4 where the traffic is flip-flopped a bit for a month or 2 or 3 to demolish the pedestrian bridge and actually to rebuild the new pedestrian sidewalk on the south side and remove the pedestrian bridge and then finish off the bridge. So it's roughly a 2-year project. It's the contractor proposed the method of construction in order to progress quickly. So the idea is to progress this necessary deck replacement project quickly, and to also keep the pedestrian walkway open and safe. And that's pretty much the project. Do you have any questions for me?
Does anybody have any questions? As you can see, this is going to impact our neighborhood for the next 2 years.
I do, Renata.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to know what time will they be working on it, because Northern Boulevard already has plenty traffic to be working one line during rush hour.
It's Astoria Boulevard. Can you tell us the times?
The work, most of the work is going to be done during the daytime behind barrier. So once the barrier is set up for the work zones, that creates the work zone for most of the work in the daytime. Some work will be done during the nighttime, mainly on the ramp.
It's hard to hear you because background noise.
During the day, two-lane ramp. So some construction is done during the night, but most is done during the day.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I'm sorry. I'm going to a quieter spot so I can speak.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Going once, going twice.
My other question, Renata, will be, when will they try to do something about Northern Boulevard and the Grand Central? When you come out of the Grand Central to Northern Boulevard to make a left there, that's really almost impossible most of the time.
Well, it's something that we can talk offline about because, and we'll take that information because we need to see if it's DOT.
All right.
This is state.
Okay.
This may be city DOT. Your question.
All right. Okay.
A quick question. Can he put the map back up on the screen? I'm not certain of that location.
All right. It's right by St. Michael's, right by the Boulevard building. That area.
It's on the
Is it
eastbound.
that overpass?
Yeah, there's an over.
Okay.
So if you're driving on Astoria Boulevard, you may not realize you're on an overpass because it's a short overpass. You can't really see the roadway underneath. It's right after St. Michael Cemetery.
I see it. I see where it is.
Right.
As you're going on to the Grand Central Service Road, right?
Correct. Right before it's just before you would get on the ramp to enter onto the Grand Central. It's actually right after a ramp from the Grand Central and right before a ramp back onto the Grand Central.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll begin our public hearings. Traffic and Transportation. Steve is not here today, but Ed Kernan, the co-chair, he will begin. Go ahead, Ed Kernan.
Good evening. We have one proposal for street renaming for Dr. Sergio I. Rubio Way for Northern Boulevard from 94th Street to Junction Boulevard with signage on the southwest corner of Northern Boulevard and I believe 94th Street is
Cuban is
the
here.
correct location.
I'm sorry, Ed.
So, yeah, we have a representative from Councilmember Drum's office to
Yes.
discuss this proposal.
All right, Cuban.
Hi, this is Kevin from Councilmember Daniel Drum's office. Everybody hear me okay? Yes, okay, great. So I'm here representing the office. Would like to ask for the community board's approval for the street co-naming of Dr. Sergio Ivan Rubio Way. So Dr. Rubio, originally from Peru, received his veterinarian license from Peru in 1967. And he made his way to the United States in 1970, seeking the American dream. He applied to veterinarian schools to redo his studies and become licensed in the US so he could practice his love of medicine. So with wife and the 3 children to care and provide for, he achieved his dream in 1976 and passed the license in 4 states. That's New York, California, Minnesota, and Missouri, where he studied. As a family, it was decided that New York would be the place to call home. He started his own practice as a house call vet business, working evenings and weekends, and after his job as surgeon in Bideway and North Shore Animal League. Finally, he opened his clinic in 1980 in the most diverse county in the world, Jackson Heights, Queens. Here he settled and delegated his entire career. In 2017, going to semi-retirement, he moved his practice to East Elmhurst, where he got to live his last years doing what he loved most, veterinarian medicine. Dr. Rubio was a dedicated professional who didn't believe in 9 to 5 to do his job. His love for animals and his clients often had him stay overnight watching and caring for pets that require extra care. In addition to being the professional, he was a good friend, often providing advice, encouragement, and friendship to neighbors and young people who got a chance to work with him and learn from him. He was the true essence of achieving the American dream. He will always be remembered and tremendously missed. Thank you. That was the bio for Dr. Rubio. I believe you all have a copy of the bio, and we appreciate all of your support on this proposal. Thank you.
And Ed, I don't know if anybody else here. You can ask and see. Is there anybody else?
Chairperson, my
Yes.
name is Beverly Carroll. I'm listed to speak. May I begin now?
With the Dr. Rubio?
Okay, thank you. Yes, it is.
Okay, very good.
Yes,
Thank you.
Renata, there are about 5 people that are planning to speak.
Okay, very good. Sorry, Ed. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Beverly. Sorry.
Are you ready? Okay. Thank you, Chair and board members, for hearing our petition. My name is Beverly Carroll. I'm a part of a 3-generation family entrusting our pets to Dr. Rubio's care. Before I give my personal testament about Dr. Rubio, I would like to share what I discovered about street renaming in New York City. I located a listing online of individuals so honored across the boroughs and found that the reason fell into 4 categories. The one most relevant to our petition is honoring members of the community held in high esteem. Dr. Rubio dedicated 40 years to our community. He worked 6 days a week. He stayed overnight with very sick pets, opened his office on Sundays, his day off, to comfort an owner or to make special accommodation for his clients. He took time off for a rare vacation or to attend a veterinary conference, and yet he always called back to check with his office regardless of where he was. Dr. Rubio, besides being an accomplished clinician, was compassionate, warm, generous, funny, and a bit of a MacGyver. My love and respect of this good man is echoed in the petitions we received. You should have received a copy of a sampling of petitions together with the brief bio and letters prior to tonight's meeting. Their commentary paint a picture of the man whose passing we mourn. There is no doubt that Dr. Rubio loved his clients, and the petitions returned that love. My 7 pets were cared for from puppyhood to senior care, equaling many visits and first-hand observations. Here are some of my experiences. He only ordered needed tests. He approached care in a stepwise progression, being mindful of the finances of his clients. He kept fees affordable to encourage well visits, which is good practice. He gave follow-up free care, discounted visits, waived an entire fee for special circumstance. He provided support follow-up with telephone calls and was always accessible. He spayed and neutered when in the best interest of the pet. Dr. Rubio was truly our neighborhood vet, held in high esteem and irreplaceable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beverly. Ed Rosenbaum, you had something to say?
Okay, very, very briefly. I did not know the doctor, but I can say that I hope he doesn't mind. Sam Shirelli, who used to be a member of our board, Pizza Sam,
yes.
was a next-door neighbor, and he knew him his entire life, since Sam had been in the neighborhood 45 years or so, and would always speak very highly of Dr. Rubio.
Thank you.
I want to echo that sentiment.
And is there another speaker here for Dr. Rubio?
Yes, the next speaker that we have listed is Mr. Consuelo Fernandez.
I don't know if he's on right now. Mr. Consuelo? Because I know that we were having issues with the link. So is there someone else?
Hi.
Myra?
Yes, thank you, Beverly.
Myra
Hi.
Bruneo.
Yes. Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Just wanted to say thank you for this opportunity to speak to you all today. My name is Maya Bermeo, and I wanted to express my most enthusiastic support for this street co-naming proposal after Dr. Rubio. Dr. Rubio was my neighborhood vet, mentor, and father figure for over 10 years. I worked with him as an intern in high school and later as a vet assistant after college. And this was all many, many years ago. Dr. Rubio used his clinic as a place for physical and social healing, bringing animals, owners, and caregivers closer together. He celebrated love and care between people and their furry companions among the diverse immigrant community of Jackson Heights. He believed this unique diversity and culture made our community better. As a Peruvian immigrant, he broke down language barriers and often adjusted costs to low-income clients. He was an avid believer that someone's love and care for their companion animal should have nothing to do with their socioeconomic status.
After 40 years of serving in our community, he continued to provide honest, accessible, and affordable services to many. Dr. Rubio left us earlier this year, but many of our achievements were due to his influence. He inspired, advised, and mentored many like me to seek higher education. He encouraged me to be a citizen of change and serve as an animal and social justice advocate. It is thanks to him that I now hold a master's in animal public policy. He was and represented a crucial unifier in our community. To co-name this street after Doc would be an opportunity to recognize the leaders who changed how we view the relationship between people, animals, and the environment. Thank you, everyone, for your time and consideration.
All right. Thank you all
Thank you.
that spoke for Dr. Rubio. Go ahead, Ed.
Is there anybody else? Or-
Yes,
Okay.
Dr. Papak is meant to be the next to speak if he's here with us.
Stop with Dr.
Yes,
Papak.
hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we'll give you a minute, Dr. Papak. And then Steve, did you want to say something?
Yes. Hi, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be able to support the street naming for Dr. Rubio. I am a veterinarian, a foreign graduated. I met Dr. Rubio many years ago, and he always made me believe that it was possible for me to achieve my license. And so I did. And I will always be grateful for his support. In reality, it will be very difficult to say all the ways that he had helped me. He was really good professional and a wonderful teacher. And I just want to say thank you for the opportunity again to support this street naming.
Thank you. And Steve Garib, you want to say something? I saw you put something in the chat.
I just wanted to say, thank you to everybody who's here to support. I know there's a number of people that are not speaking right now, but I do really, Dr. Rubio is my granddad, and he's always been a great role model. But I think he really defines something special for Jackson Heights as a really immigrant, very diverse immigrant American community where he really achieved an American dream and was able to show a lot of people and be a role model that you can achieve higher education and always strive for higher goals and make something great of yourself. And so I thank everybody and thank you for your time from the board.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you all that spoke. And
Thank you.
go ahead.
We'll take this up in executive session. Thank you.
Edmund? Business Echo?
Okay. Let me just make sure that the first applicant's coming on because I kind of like zoned out. Okay.
We did have other speakers. I didn't know we had Julie
Sorry,
there.
because we ran a little late with the meeting, but we did hear about all the wonderful things that Dr. Rubio did do in the community, and we appreciate that. And we do have the letter and of support from the councilman and other letters in our folder, so we can review that. Thank you, Steve. Go ahead, Edmund.
Okay, welcome. I just contacted Clara. Our first applicant will be Latino Bites 2 LLC, 8415 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. This is an application for a new wine and beer license. Hopefully they're coming on within the second.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, welcome.
How you doing?
How are you tonight?
All right.
Okay, you're coming on alone or your representative also is coming on?
I can't come on my own because you guys didn't send them a link.
Really? Okay.
All right, Edmund, go ahead.
Okay, so just give an overview of your business for us, similar to what you did at the committee meeting.
All right, so basically we're more of a fast food restaurant. Serve burgers, tacos, burritos, quesadillas, etc. We're not looking for party crowd. We're not looking to give people like serve hard alcohol. We're just looking for families, friends, people to come here, enjoy a nice dinner, be able to drink a glass of wine or drink some beer. Nothing crazy. We're not looking for people to come and just sit and wait in the table and just drink all night. That's not our concept. We're basically here to serve the community plus other people that come from other communities. And we're a pretty decent restaurant. I'm pretty sure we're known. I don't know if you guys have heard of us before. We've been in this location for the past 3 years, and we're just opened up our brick and mortar homes, and we're looking to basically cater to people.
Okay. Right, you've been in the same location relatively in a food truck, correct? Which is like across the street? Correct. Just tell us your hours of operation for this location.
Well, it's really hard to say because of everything that's going on right now. So it's hard for me to say, this is what I want to do. This is the hours that I want to work. But actuality, there's rules right now that we have to respect. So I would love to be open from 11 in the morning till, well, it was like how it used to be before everything happened. So a late crowd, like people will come late from the clubs that want to grab something to eat, juice, a burger, something for them to have. But unfortunately, we can't. So right now, we could only be open till 10, as far as letting people.
And how many people fit in the location?
Right now?
Right.
Right now, we could only have like 18 people.
Right, but if we didn't have the rules, how many fit?
With staff, around 70 something.
70. Okay. Okay, because you said there was 40 seats, which would be 28 indoor, 12 in the rear patio. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. So you said how many?
You said 28 indoors and 12 on the patio.
40. Oh, yeah, plus the staff. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Got a little
Because I know this building is old and it doesn't have a certificate of occupancy. It's, you have a letter of objection. So it's a little bit open-ended in terms of occupancy. Okay. Do any of the board members have any questions right now?
Hi, this is Toy. I do actually have a question.
Toy.
Hi. So once open, will you continue to operate the food truck simultaneously at the same time as well as the restaurant? And the reason why I ask that is just thinking about the flow of your patrons who may go back and forth for anything that could potentially, come up in that realm. Thank you.
Well, the whole concept of us having the restaurant was to be able to move the food truck to another location.
Okay, thank you.
That's good. Yes, Frank.
First of all, good evening. I was maybe been remiss. I did not hear anything as far as police activity. Have you had any negative police activity at your locations or at this location?
We haven't had any problems. Like I said, we're not we're a little bit different. We try to bring a different type of vibe over here. This is more like family oriented, friends, cousins, uncles that come here. They want to sit down and enjoy a nice fast food meal, because also our name is very popular at the same time. So a lot of people come from different places with their families to enjoy our what we have to offer to them. So we try as much as possible not to have any negative stuff coming in.
Okay. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Okay, we're going to take this up in executive session. Thank you. So next, we will call Chipotle Mexican Grill of Colorado, LLC, 3747 Junction Boulevard in Corona. Application for a wine and beer license. We'll wait for them to come on.
Did Clara call the person?
They're not answering. But the next two are present already.
Okay, so go ahead. Go ahead. And
Well, let's skip over then, okay?
Mhm.
So we're going to skip over Chipotle and come back. We're going to go to number 3, Vecinos Corp., 8513 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. This is an application for a full liquor license. I believe Mr. Miller is here. We can't hear you.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Miller. So just give us a brief overview of the business plan.
I mean, it's gonna be a Brazilian tapas lounge. You know, like I explained before, I've been with the lease since March 4th, but we haven't been able to do absolutely anything because of this pandemic. I haven't even created a menu yet. You know, and I've been with you guys this is, I think, the 3rd time with you guys on the board.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? No one has any questions.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay, Frank.
yeah, well, you're opening up a business. Have you been a business owner before? What experience do you have? And what are the hours there? What are you looking at? Can you be a little bit more expansive on what you're actually trying to do?
I mean, it's going to be a Brazilian tapas lounge. You know, I've managed a lot of places before. My wife is a chef in Park Avenue. Was a chef in Park Avenue in the city. She's currently not working. You know, we discussed before. You know, you guys put a stipulation. We were going to open up 7 days a week. You know, and you guys put a stipulation closing at 3 a.m. on Sundays. You know, and everything else was open till 4 a.m. Open at 4 a.m. during the weekends and closing at 3 a.m. Sunday and the other days, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay. Have you filed your application yet?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been fingerprinted yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Let me just ask, are you the 100% owner of the business?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, we'll take it up in executive session.
Okay.
So since we don't have Chipotle on the line yet, we're going to go to Tradiciones Mexicanas Corp., doing business as Los Chiles, 9607 37th Avenue. This is a class change, a full liquor license.
Yes, hi. Good evening. Thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Zuley Tapia. I'm the owner of Tradiciones Mexicanas Corp., doing business as Los Chiles Restaurant Bar. We're located at 9607 37th Avenue. We're asking if for a full liquor license. We right now are struggling, honestly, to keep afloat. This pandemic has really come to hit us hard. We have fortunately been able to survive because of the extended summer. We've had very good temperatures, until last week. So people are, coming in. We have outside seating. We have three tables outside, but it got cold now. So now it's getting very tough. So we do have food. We serve Mexican food. We have 15 people capacity inside, 15 person, and this is including the employees. We have 3 employees. So right now we are really struggling. Honestly, I had to dip into my savings, and it's a struggle. So we're asking the board if we can possibly have, be permitted to have a full liquor license, and trying to, have people come in, maybe have a drink, or take, we don't know where this thing is going. We might be closing pretty soon because the numbers are going higher now. So at this point, it's kind of uncertainty, but I mean, we've been there for 3 years. I've been there for 3 years. Right now, we don't have any violations. We've been in good standing. So, I just asked the board to consider giving us the full liquor license, please.
Okay. Are there any questions? Yes, Frank.
It's not really a question, though. I just wanted to inform her that the community board is starting a business acumen as far as the small businesses go. And if you're in trouble of closing, I think that when Edmund is the chair of it, I think that maybe we could sit down together, maybe help some people out, and maybe this would be a candidate for that help.
Oh, thank you for that information. I didn't know that. Like I told you, we've been able to keep afloat because honestly, the temperatures have been really good to us. But they just, as soon as winter comes, it's gonna be worse. And I know the cases are going up, and we're seeing where everything's headed. And I think we're gonna have to close. So
That
I
would
mean,
be
we're gonna give it one last shot, but it's looking that way, unfortunately.
Thank you, Edmund.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, we'll take that up in executive session. We're receiving no answer from Chipotle right now.
Clara tried again.
She's been trying, and the lawyers had sent an email saying he wants to postpone. But I don't know
I see
how.
why. Okay. All righty then, thank you. So we'll open our executive session. As you always know, we open it up. Anybody else, or that was the last one?
That's the last one, so we'll table Chipotle to next month then.
All right, everyone. So we'll open up the executive session with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance
To the flag
Right.
of the United
Of the
States
United States of America.
and to the republic
And to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under
God,
liberty
and justice for all.
Liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you all for hanging in there for our longer than usual start of our meeting. It was very interesting. I will be talking with the technology committee to see what different tools that we will be using for future meetings, because we cannot have that disruption that we had at the beginning of our meeting. I call for a motion to adopt our agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's carried. Motions by committee, traffic and transportation.
Okay, so this is for the street naming Dr. Sergio I. Rubio Way, Northern Boulevard from 94th Street to Junction Boulevard. The signage located on southwest corner of Northern Boulevard and 94th Street. The committee met on Wednesday, October 28th, and by a vote of 9 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative with 3 abstentions, the committee recommends approval. So the motion is to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Any discussion? Okay.
Call the question.
All right. This is for the street co-naming of Dr. Sergio I. Rubio Way, Northern Boulevard from 94th Street to Junction Boulevard. The committee recommends approval. So a yes vote is a yes vote. All right. Kamblata. Ann Brown.
Yes.
Abba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury.
Yes.
Heiko Corneliuson.
Yes.
Shiv Das. He's absent. Sonia Davis Roberts. Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Margaret Dossier. Renetta English.
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi.
I guess he can't hear you.
Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Esther Peter Haran.
Yes.
Lorinda Hooks. Mr. Hollader. Kevin Yusnaboa, I am a yes. Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
Eva Kohanek is not here. Marta Leberton.
Yes.
Carlos Andre Lopez. Not here. Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Richard Mullings. Did he return? Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Veronica Ing. Nuala Doherty. Is Nuala still with us?
No, she's not answering right now, so move on.
Philip Pappas.
No.
Esteban Peralta. Ladisla Perez.
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Megan Rockwell.
Yes.
Asa Rodriguez. Jairo Rodriguez. Yancy Romero. Tammy Rose.
Yes.
Edmund Rosenbaum.
Yes.
David Rosero.
I missed it then.
Lobsang Salaka.
Nuala just said her name.
Oh, Nuala. I'm sorry. What was
Yeah.
your vote? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Thank you. Marlene Tapper.
Yes. Yes.
Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler.
Yes. Yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry.
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
Joy Washington Simon.
Yes.
Edwin Wesley.
Abstain.
All right. We just made quorum. 26 yeses, 1 no, 1 abstention. The motion carries.
Thank you.
Edmund?
Okay. I'm ready. First applicant, Latino Bites 2 LLC, 8415 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. This is an application for a new wine and beer license. Motion is committee recommends approval of an application for an on-premises wine and beer license for this applicant. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to say a few words. This is Ed Wesley. I'm sorry. They're neighbors of mine, actually. It's a mobile operation, as the gentleman said. And when it was pre-virus time, they took great care to make sure that their surrounding area was very clean. And I complimented him on it because he not only took care of just where his truck was parked, but he'd go several deep into the street and make sure none of his customers were knuckleheads and threw paper around or that kind of stuff. So I support this very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we call the question.
Okay, this is for Latino Bites 2 LLC, located at 8415 Northern Boulevard, Jackson Heights. Issue. This is for a wine and beer license, and the committee recommends approval. So a yes vote is a yes. Ann Brown.
Yes.
Alba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury.
Abstain. Abstain.
Got it. Heiko Corneliuson.
Yes.
Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Renetta English.
Yes.
Is Mr. Gandhi, are you there? Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran. Pastor Haran?
He's not there. Go ahead. Move on.
Okay. Kevin Yusnaboa, I am a yes.
No.
Oh, Pastor Peter Haran, was that you?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
You are
no,
marked as
no.
you are marked as a no. I got you. Okay. Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
Marta Leberton.
No.
Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Nulo Doherty.
Yes.
Philip Pappas.
Yes.
Dadisla Perez.
Yes.
Thank you. Dorothy Phelan.
Yes.
Thank you. Megan Rockwell.
Abstain.
Okay. Tammy Rose.
Yes.
Evan Rosenbaum.
Yes.
Marlene Tapper. Marlene?
I'm sorry, you didn't hear me. Yes.
I got you. Thank you. Frank Taylor.
Yes.
Arthur Tyler.
Yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry.
Yes.
Thank you. Hamlet Wallace.
Yes.
Roy Washington Simon.
Yes.
Edwin Wesley.
Yes.
Okay. 24 yeses, 2 nos, 2 abstentions. The motion carries.
Okay, the second applicant would have been Chipotle Mexican Grill of Colorado LLC. That will be tabled to December. So third applicant is Vecinos Corp., 8513 Northern Boulevard in Jackson Heights. This is application for a full liquor license. Motion is extremely long. So let me get started. The committee recommends disapproval of an application for an on-premises full liquor license for this applicant due to unwillingness to meet with the committee, applicant principal, lack of disclosure of applicant as filed with the New York State Liquor Authority, and applicant principal having violated the governor's executive order and New York State alcohol beverage control law, exemplifying the fact that the principal, Nicole Mancini, is not a viable licensee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. Now I'll start the discussion. Now, the name Nicole Mancini is there, and I had asked the applicant if he is the sole proprietor in the corporation. He said no. The State Liquor Authority had received the application on the 15th of this month, a few days ago, and Nicole Mancini has been fingerprinted and is listed as the corporate principal of this location. She is licensed at another location, which was had a summary suspension and paid a large fine for violating the executive order and violating other ABC laws. Also having I'm just doing briefly, having a familial relationship with the owner of the property as well. So based upon what is filed with the State Liquor Authority, we come to this conclusion. Is there any other discussion?
I'm a little confused, Edmund. So you think that he's not the true owner, or you think there are multiple owners?
He said he's 100%. The only person that has been fingerprinted with the state, and the state has on record for this application, is someone else.
And what was his response to that?
He said he is 100% owner.
So we have no answer to the question.
No, he answered the question. He said he was 100% owner. He just answered the question.
Right, except for the fact that the liquor license submitted to the state is a different name.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do we think that that he has two names, or do we think there's a second individual who's actually applying for liquor license?
The second individual is applying.
Okay.
And also, they have not met with us in 4 months consecutively, and we requested.
There is also one provision that the owner and the businessman, business and the landowner, the same person, right?
No. She's actually the stepdaughter of the landlord.
Okay, Edmund, you want to call?
Edmund. It is possible that he could be the owner and the manager is the one applying for the liquor license. I don't know if that could work.
The manager can't apply for a liquor license. They're only disclosed in the application.
Edmund, can I ask a question about process? If we disapprove this license, what happens next? Can they reapply, send in a new application that can actually have a hearing where they show up at your committee and then come here and they just restart, or what is the process if we?
It can happen, yes. If we get another notification, we start a new process. Because we have to act on every notification we get. With the exception of an appeal, but that would have to be something new.
So if we decline, it's not, they can try again, essentially.
It basically goes along with the current application that we have. They can always file a new one. But this application was received by the state with someone else's name on it. Anyone else? Okay. We'll call the question.
We have a second, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. All right. This is for Vecinos Corp. located at 8513 Northern Boulevard, Jackson Heights, for a full liquor license. The committee recommends disapproval of the motion. So a yes vote is to disapprove the motion. All right. If you would rather approve the motion, then you would vote no. All right. So a yes vote is to disapprove. A no vote is to approve. Ann Brown.
Yes.
Elba Buendia.
Yes.
Mark Burmester.
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury.
No.
Do you understand how you're voting, Mr.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Heiko Corneliuson.
Yes.
Okay. Vivian Dock.
Yes.
Renetta English.
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi. All right. Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran.
Yes.
Evan Naboa. I am a yes. Edward Kiernan.
Yes.
Marta Lebreton.
Yes.
Lisa Masulam.
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons.
Yes.
Nuala O'Doherty.
Yes.
Philip Pappas.
Yes.
Luisa Perez.
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan,
Yes.
Megan Rockwell,
Abstain.
Tammy Rose.
She had to leave.
Oh, she had to leave. Okay. Edmund Rosenbaum,
Yes.
Marlene Tapper,
Yes. Yes.
thank you. Frank Taylor,
Yes.
Arthur Tyler,
Yes. Yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry,
Yes. Yes.
Hamlet Wallace,
Yes.
Troy Washington Simon,
Yes.
and Edwin Wesley.
Yes.
All right, 26 yeses to disapprove, 1 abstention. The motion carries.
Fourth and last application, Tradiciones Mexicanas Corp., doing business as Los Chiles, 9607 37th Avenue, Corona. A class change and upgrade to full liquor. Motion is committee recommends approval of an application for a class change to an on-premises full liquor license for this applicant, provided that a stipulation has been signed, stating the hours of operation will be 2 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. on a daily basis. There will be 2 licensed security guards present at all times. Alcohol service will end 1 hour prior to closing on a daily basis, and kitchen will be open, serving a full menu at all times. Stipulation has been signed and received. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Discussion, first me. This stipulation is in line with the stipulation they signed for their wine and beer license as well. So we tailored it the same way as for this upgrade. And everything was agreed upon. Is there any other discussion? Okay, you can call the question.
All right, this is for Tradiciones Mexicanas Corp., doing business as Los Chiles, located at 96-07 37th Avenue, Corona. This is for a class change, full liquor, and the committee recommends approval, so a yes vote is to approve. Ann Brown,
Yes.
Alba Buendia,
Yes.
Mark Burmester,
Yes.
Mr. Chowdhury,
No.
Michael Corneliuson,
Yes.
Vivian Dock,
Yes.
Renetta English,
Yes.
Mr. Gandhi, Mr. Gideon,
Yes.
Pastor Peter Haran,
No.
Kevin Yuzaboa, I am a yes. Edward Kiernan,
Yes.
Marta Lebreton,
No.
Lisa Masulam,
Yes.
Laverne Nimmons,
Yes.
Nulo Adorty,
Yes.
Philip Pappas,
Yes.
Larissa Perez,
Yes.
Dorothy Phelan, Dorothy, you're on mute.
Yes.
Thank you. Megan Rockwell,
Abstain.
all right. Edmund Rosenbaum,
Yes.
Marlene Tapper,
Yes.
Frank Taylor,
Yes.
Arthur Tyler,
Yes.
Chanel Thomas Henry,
Yes.
Hamlet Wallace,
Yes.
Troy Washington Simon,
Yes.
Edwin Wesley.
Yes.
All right, 23 yeses, 3 noes, 1 abstention. The motion carries.
All right. Parks. Can say a few words. Thank you.
I don't have a report, Renetta.
Okay. Nominating.
Yes. The nominating committee will be meeting before next board meeting. Date to be determined. to decide on a slate of candidates for office to be announced at the next board meeting, December 17, 2020, and vote at the January 21st, 2021 board meeting. Nominations from the floor can be made at that time, January 21st, by a board member, second by another board member, then added to slate of candidates for office. No officer elected may serve more than 3 consecutive terms in the same office and shall not be eligible for re-election to the same office for a period of 2 years. In the process of nominating, the committee takes into consideration members' attendance at board and committee meetings, representation from the entire district, diversity of the board, and terms served. The members of the committee are, as appointed by our board chair. I chair. Then we have Mr. Vasandre Gande, Pastor Peter Haran, Mr. Edward Kiernan, Ms. Marta Leberton, Ms. Veronica Nigg, Mr. Philip Pappas, Mr. David Rosario, and Ms. Toy Washington. Any board members interested in being nominated for an office, contact anyone on the nominating committee. There will be a change to the voting process due to the pandemic. We will be informed later by Bar President's office on what they are and how to handle it. Okay, that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. I just like to welcome again everyone to our November meeting. As you know, November is a special month where we reflect on the service of our veterans, and it's also a month where we're very thankful for our family and friends. Even though we're going through a resurgence of COVID-19, please remember the 4 core: stay home, stay apart, 6 feet apart, wear a face covering, and keep your hands clean. I want to I'm very thankful for your consistent support, attending board meetings, committee meetings, and the numerous community events. And I'm wishing all of you a happy Thanksgiving. This month, we continued with our meetings. As I mentioned earlier, Vivian has been appointed our nominating committee chairperson. We participated in the Queensborough President's Board Cabinet Complete Count Committee. It came to an end. It was a very nice celebration. The board was recognized for all the work that we've done in regards to the census. District needs survey went out, everyone. There's 50 members and we had over 80 responses. So we have a lot of shadow members out there. This month we distributed, in October and November, we distributed over 1,500 masks. The Jackson Heights Merchants Association, they had an event at Diversity Plaza, and we went out there and they gave away over 1,500 bags of food. And we also participated in the Mass for Congregation Tifereth Israel of Jackson Heights. The pictures are there in the chairperson's report, so you can see that. I participated in this, and I know some of our members did. There was testing at Travers Park, and it's going to be up to this Sunday, I believe. So please, everyone, get tested. I've heard that we're going to have to get tested once a month. So please still practice social distancing. If you need to take a test, it's right there, and you get your results back pretty quickly. And the test is a little different, then it doesn't go up all the way up to your brain. It's very non-invasive, as they say. And we're going to think about how we're going to do our community gift giving project this year. So I will be sending out an email to board members. So this month we had Election Day, Veterans Day, Happy Thanksgiving, as I mentioned before, Transgender Day of Remembrance. We celebrated STEAM, National STEM STEAM Day, and Happy Diwali. Does anyone, and again, I'd like to thank those that came out for their volunteering. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, Edwin, Wesley. Thank you, Veronica and Eng. Thank you, Arthur Tyler. Any questions? All right, Ms. Reed, District Manager's Report. Ms. Reed?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I have a very brief report, and that is to congratulate you. I think that even though we are in the pandemic and have encountered many different situations, we've come through with flying colors. So I just want to thank you for your continued cooperation and interest in supporting the community. Lastly, I'd like to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving. I look forward to seeing you all next month. I'd like to now call upon Laverne Nimmons, who will announce birthdays. Laverne?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
Let me.
Do you want a minute? Should we come back to you?
No, fortunately, I do have them. So what happened? I did not have an opportunity to. Let me put my camera on. Sorry. It's not responding. I did not have an opportunity to send the birthdays out in a timely manner, and we have been meeting since September. So if I may, if you will indulge me, I would just like to announce the past birthdays as well. Let you all know that we do remember you, and we do want to celebrate your life here on Earth, and we're just so happy that you're with us, especially here serving with us on the board. So let me go to start with August. And we have happy birthday to Grace Lawrence, Marlene Tapper, and Rodriguez. Waro, is it, how do you pronounce his first? Hyro, thank you, Hyro Rodriguez. Happy birthday to you, all of you August babies. For September, we have Dorothy Phelan, happy birthday. And I did have the opportunity to send out belated birthday wishes to all of you. Ann Brown, happy birthday, September 18th, September 19th. Malkeith Chowdhury, happy birthday to you, September 21st. Heiko Cornelison.
Thank you, thank you.
Cornelison.
Cornelison, yes, thank you. Thank you, that's very sweet. Thanks.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you.
Peter Haran, happy birthday to you as well. In October, Shiv Das, happy birthday. Sonia Davis Roberts, October 5th, happy birthday. Verona Nig, October 10th, happy birthday. Martha Leberton, October 17th, happy birthday, Martha. And Frank Taylor, October 26th, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Thank you.
And for November, we have Elba Bardia. Elba, happy birthday to you. And myself, happy birthday to me. Yes, and we have Edward Kiernan, whose birthday is on the same day as mine, November 15th. Happy birthday, Edward. And Ulrich Gideon, happy birthday, Mr. Gideon, November 26th. Your birthday is still coming up. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, thank you.
You all receive the cards, and we look forward to many, many more birthdays to come. And I'm sorry my camera's not coming up, so you can see my big fat smile.
That's okay. Okay, now we don't need to go there.
There I am. Happy birthday, everybody.
Thank you. I received your card today. All right, I received your card. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Beautiful card. I love it.
Thank you for the card.
Thank you for the card.
Well, no one looks a year older.
And thank you to Lisa for the cake.
Huh?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
She did the drawing of the cake, the design of the car.
All right, very good. Thank you, Laverne, for all that you do. It's really appreciated. Motion to adopt our monthly minutes.
Laverne, thank you. I received your card.
Oh, good.
And again, Mr. Chowdhury, sorry for the loss of your mom.
Thank you very much.
Oh, condolences, condolences.
Sorry to hear that.
So I call for a motion to adopt our October 22nd, 2020 monthly minutes.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any other committee reports that I've missed? All right. So we'll hear from our legislators. Please make this a 1 minute.
I think Ed.
Oh, Ed Kernan. Sorry, Ed. Oh yeah, Ed, you forgot to mention one thing. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So, traffic and transportation, we met on the 28th and discussed 34th Avenue, the open street program. There were well over 100 people in attendance. DOT is going to be having a forum that we are co-sponsors of, along with Councilmember Drum and Senator Ramos, on December 2nd from 6:30 to 8:30 via Zoom. That information will be distributed by the board. I know Councilmember Drum has already started to distribute that. So we hope you can all join us. And that's going to follow up on the open street discussion that was started at our committee meeting, where we got a presentation from DOT. And I think the only other thing I wanted to touch on from that meeting was DOT is going to be looking at traffic conditions on 31st Avenue between 75th and 78th Streets to address some concerns, unsafe conditions in that area. And we're also going to be looking into a street hump on 93rd Street between 31st and 32nd Avenues. So thank you.
I had a question about that.
Sure.
Go ahead.
For the visioning session, do we need to individually register to it? Or are we going to receive a separate link for it?
I think
Since we're
we should
sponsoring it.
Go ahead, Ed.
I registered myself, so I think I would recommend that everyone register individually. O'Neill from DOT and their team and Jason and the Borough Commissioner are going to be running the show. And we'll be speaking as well, but DOT will be moderating. I can share that link in the chat now too.
All right. So after tonight's meeting, the technology team will be sending out that flyer. Thank you, technology team. Who's that? Whose birthday cake is that? That's a beautiful cake, Ladisla. Very orange. All righty. So so our legislators, we're gonna have 1 minute or less, please. Lily, are you still on? Maybe she's gone. All right. Lily, are you there?
No, I'm here. I'm here. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to keep it really quick and short. Just a reminder that we do have a COVID test site at LaGuardia Airport. It's in Terminal B. I took the opportunity to go down myself at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday and had my results back by 10 a.m. Wednesday. Please, everybody, get tested. Take advantage of this opportunity. It has free parking. It was really easy. And from the Assemblyman, happy Thanksgiving to all.
All right. James. Thank you, Lily.
All right. Hi, everyone. It's James here from the Office of New York City Controller Scott Stringer. Got 3 updates. I'll say them very fast. Okay. The first one I'm going to put in the chat right now. It shows that there's $834 million of tax revenue that's been collected that wasn't expected for the first quarter of our fiscal year. So that's some good news, even though our city is still in a lot of financial trouble. So check out that link for more information there. The second thing and most important thing, and I'm hoping that all of you on this call can really help me with this, is a survey that the Comptroller's Office has just put out. It is the Work and Family Survey. What we are doing is we are trying to collect data on people who live in all parts of New York City, and we really, really, really need some more people from Queens to fill out the survey. The survey is about how you are doing in terms of adjusting to the pandemic, with many of you working at home, and also for those of you who now are being asked to go back to work while you have children or perhaps other people to take care of. We want to know how difficult or maybe how easy it is for you. So a lot about the work-life balance. We really need more respondents. Most of our respondents up to this point have been people that live in the wealthier areas of Manhattan and Brooklyn. So we really want some geographic diversity and racial diversity, ethnic diversity, all types of diversity. So we need more respondents. So I'm going to put that link in the chat right now.
And
So
James,
please fill out that survey.
James, all the members received the survey, and we posted it on social media also.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. So, and all right. So one more thing for the members. So thank you if you've taken the survey. Sorry?
You could put it in there, but everyone received it though. Just want to let you know.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. So please for those of you who are members of larger organizations, civic groups, and so on, please spread that survey within your own networks too, because we really need to get this out as much as possible. So I'll put it there in case there's other people who want to look at it who aren't board members. Last thing, I'm going to put the link for our Fiscal and Economic Outlook newsletter. Again, this is a weekly update, a weekly email that gives updates on the state of the city in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic and the economic health. So if you click on the link that I'll post in a few moments, you look for the subscribe button, click on that, put your email in, and you'll get weekly updates. Thank you.
All right, Cuban.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Cuban.
Hi, Cuban here. So I have a legislative update here regarding local law 152 of 2016. So according to local law, most buildings, including co-ops in certain community board districts, are required to conduct a periodic inspection of gas piping system beginning January 1st, 2020. So the buildings in CB1, 3, and 10 in all boroughs are supposed to complete the inspection by the end of the year. However, due to the COVID-19 safety guideline and restrictions, there are many buildings were not able to meet the deadline. So today, council member introduced a bill to extend the deadline for another 6 months. So we are working hard to try and get this passed by the end of the year, which is the original deadline, and we will keep the Community Board 3 updated on any public hearing dates. And just briefly, just a reminder that we offer one-on-one virtual legal consultation that's including immigration, housing issues. You may call us at 718-803-6373 or email DRORM, DORMM at console.nyc.gov. I'm going to put the information in the chat as well.
Thank you much.
Last but not least, council member, wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Please continue to stay safe and healthy. We'll see you back in December.
Thank you. Lisa Atkins. Lisa?
Her mic is, this is for Lisa, right? Her mic is not working, but she wanted me to share her message. Good evening, Community Board 3. Her mic is not working. Wishing each of you and your loved ones the best possible holiday and Thanksgiving. Please be safe, get tested, and protect yourselves. Free testing is available at LaGuardia Terminal. Take advantage of this vital local service.
Thank you.
Thank
Michelle?
you, Lisa.
Michelle, are you still on?
Hi, yeah. Sorry.
Hi,
Chanel.
Oh, you wanted to say something? Who just talked? Wait, before you go, Michelle, did someone just say something?
Yes, you
said Chanel.
Hernandez from AOC's office and Munoz from Senator Ramos's office. I wasn't sure who you were addressing.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, you can go first since you're speaking, and then let me see who else I'm missing. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, just very briefly, on Senator Ramos's side, just an update for today. The senator engaged in the New York Senate budget hearings for agencies. Among those were the Environment Conservation, where the senator spoke out against the energy power plant and advocated for sustainable infrastructure. Tomorrow, Friday, November 20th, 2020, thanks to the generous donations of union reps, union sponsors, and local health providers, We're going to be hosting a Thanksgiving turkey giveaway in the courtyard of the Louis Armstrong Middle School, 3202 Junction Boulevard in East Elmhurst. And that's going to be at 3 o'clock. And that is all for me.
Thank you. And Michelle Hernandez.
Hi, everyone. This is Michelle Hernandez from the Office of Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. I have just a couple updates. So last week we hosted our monthly town hall, and the Congresswoman provided an update on what to expect from Congress as we finish our first term. If you missed the town hall, you can find it on our Facebook page. I will share a link shortly in the chat box. And then for legislative updates, Congress is working on an omnibus spending bill to keep the government funded, and that's going to end on December 11th. So they're working on passing that spending bill. And then the last thing that I want to highlight, and we're very excited about this, is that tomorrow the Congresswoman is expected to recognize on the floor the centennial of the Jewish Center of Jackson Heights. We're very excited to recognize their long history and service for our Jewish American community and the wider Queens community. And so I'll be circulating as well in the chat link a link to watching it live. So the Congresswoman will be providing a speech. It's a 1-minute speech that's allowed, and it will be added onto the congressional record. And we're wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and we hope that you are able to enjoy, time with your loved ones, whether in person or remotely, and you can have a peaceful and restful holiday. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Did I miss anyone? All right. So I think we're basically wrapping up.
Renetta,
Yes.
I'd just like to comment
Go ahead.
on AOC's representative's report.
Very good. Go ahead.
It's the 150th year. It's not the 100th year. 150th year of the Jackson Heights Jewish Center.
Okay. Noted. Thank you. So we have no old business, new business. So I call for a motion to end our meeting.
I have some old business.
Go ahead.
Renetta,
Mhm.
old business. The BSA, Bureau of Standards and Appeals,
Okay.
is calling a meeting on December 1st, which will probably be a bad omen for us. They probably are going to approve the development of 114th Street and Northern Boulevard, the former site of de Blasey Ford, which you got to scratch your head and wonder how these things happen, because we had our council person, Moya, we had our assembly person, Jeffron, we had our borough president, acting borough president Lee, and we had our former borough president Katz, all saying no. But we lost it, and it's not a good time for, obviously, for the Dorian Miller people. It was an ideal location, perhaps, for the school we've been clamoring for, but this particular developer is not interested in helping out the community.
Well,
thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed, and definitely the information about the meeting will be circulated. And those that can attend, please attend. So the more of us that are represented there, at least will be there to say any additional commentary. All right. So I call for a motion for our meeting to end at 10:04 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everyone. Be safe. Social distance, please, 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 please be careful out there.
You also be safe. We had a good meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you all for your patience with the meeting.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
What'd you say?
Is Dilsa still there?
Who? Odisla?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Are you there? Okay, can you send me a picture of that cake?
Oh, sure, I will.
Okay.
Cake,
Thank you.
Lots of calories.
Happy birthday, everybody. And
All
happy
right.
Thank
Bless
you.
holiday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hooray.
All right, Kevin, so we'll talk.
Okay.
How you doing, Marlene? Okay?
I'm good.
Very good. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you're feeling better.
We're getting